Hey there everybody, and welcome to another Friday Night Spotlight brought to you by Jones Ford Buick GMC, your hometown dealer for more than 50 years. We are still in playoff mode here. Both of our teams won last week in Casa Grande Union and Poston Butte. Both teams are now in the semifinals. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, they are not playing against each other. And just to kick things off, number 2, Casa Grande, will be hosting number 3, Gilbert Mesquite. Now, very big challenge here for CG Union. Mesquite is the 2-time defending champion, and they only have 3 losses so far this year, but they come against some very difficult opponents, such as Glendale Cactus and ALA Queen Creek. David, what are you expecting in this game?
Well, first of all, it seems like our 2 Pinal County teams have kind of done a reversal of sorts from the last couple of weeks. You know, in round 1, it took Poston Butte needing a late score to win, and then Casa Grande kind of cruising in their first round. But then last week, Casa Grande won on a game-winning field goal, and then Poston Butte cruised to a win. So it just seems kind of interesting how these 2 teams are battling each other, or not battling each other, just battling in the playoffs in general. But the Cougars survived last week, like I said, on a game-winning field goal against St. Mary's. But it seems like the Cougars have not been, you know, the usual Cougars that we've seen. There's been a lot of turnovers and a lot of, you know, undisciplined football when it comes to penalties. So they're going to have to clean that up if they want to win on Friday night. Mesquite is no slouch, like we've said, reigning 2-time for a champion. So they are a huge test for this Cougars squad. The defense has to be smart. The defense has to play smart and not give up those stupid penalties that could cost them yardage and could cost them the win. So Mesquite team, like we said, is very talented. They're led by quarterback Gerardo Saenz. He has 2,616 passing yards, 31 touchdowns on 11 interceptions. One of the best quarterbacks we've seen in 4A, and just their running game is strong as well. They have a lead back in Blake Corner, who's rushed for 1689 and then 16 touchdowns to go along with that. So the Wildcats can attack them on both ways, both with the passing game and the running game. So for me, I think it's going to come down to it's going to be a back and forth battle, but it's going to come down to the defenses. Whoever can stop them the most and whoever has the edge and it gets those early advantages could win the game. So watch out for the offenses because they're going to have fireworks, but also watch out for the defense on who makes the best stops for them and makes those stops at the right point. This game's going to be a really fun one to watch, though.
Yeah, David touched upon it. I think the key here is whichever team plays the cleaner game is going to come out on top. Last week's game was really riddled with a lot of penalties for both CG Union and Phoenix St. Mary's, which, you know, kind of, if you were there at the game or heard about it, you know that the refs bailed CG Union out with that late pass interference call that set up the game-winning field goal. Had it not been for a flag, you know, we might just be talking about one team this week. So if CG Union can clean that up, also take care of the ball offensively. There were a couple turnovers. Angel Flores threw an interception. Fumbles have also been a key factor for the CG Union's offense. If they can clean that up, they should be in a very close game with Mesquite. David, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think you said it perfectly. Whoever plays the better clean game is going to win this one. And if CG Union wants to win, they have to be able to take care of the ball, hold the ball, and be able to not give it up like that with those big fumbles and those interceptions from Angel Flores. So, like you said, whoever plays the cleaner game will probably end up being the winner in that one.
All right, now transitioning over to our 1 seed, Poston Butte. They cruised, as David mentioned, past Prescott last week, 49-7. They will be taking on number 4 seed Glendale, who defeated CDO 38-27. Kind of an unexpected game for Poston Butte for us. We were both at that game. We expected them to bring their running game, which is what they're known to do, but it was actually quarterback Drew Dalmacio who came up with the big plays. David, what are you expecting this week from the Broncos?
Yeah, like you talked about, this was a dominant win for Poston Butte, and they dominated on all facets. The passing game, the run game, the defense, everything was clicking for them in that huge win against Prescott. Basically, I think it's going to come down to they have to do exactly what they did against the Badgers if they want to beat Glendale, but do a little bit more as well, because Glendale is a very, very good team. They have 200-plus yard rushers in the backfield with Zachariah Owens and Keon Walker, so those guys are going to be running down the field and as much as possible. But the Broncos, like we've seen all year, they're a good run team as well. So it was really interesting to see Drew Dalmacio kind of lead the game with the passing. He had 3 touchdown passes in that game, but I think they're going to try to go back to the run as much as possible. it's kind of they're dealing with possible injuries as well, though. We saw the Octavius Joe. He was, in uniform on the sideline, but we really didn't see him on the field all that much. So stay tuned to see what's going to happen with him and see if he's available to play Friday night. But like I said with the CG Union and the Mesquite game, this is going to come down to defense, and it's going to come down to which team is going to get the most stops and get the more important stops as they need. So Poston Butte is going up against Glendale. This Broncos game is coming off. They only allowed 7 points last week, and it was even kind of like a garbage time touchdown against Prescott last week. So the defense is really hot right now, and they're going to have to stay hot if they want to beat this Cardinals team because they are really good on offense. It's going to come down to defense, like we said, for this last couple of games, and this is it right here. If you win, you make it to the finals. Poston Butte hasn't had that much success in football in the past, so this could be a big game for them. They're going to have to be strong, going to have to probably play their best game of the season if they want to win this one.
So David touched on the defense. I do have to point out that Amari Gilmore had a 51-yard touchdown interception, and also Tomas Luna and Bobby Gaithan each had 1.5 sacks and did a fantastic job of putting pressure on Prescott's quarterback last week. David mentioned it for Glendale, Zachariah Owens. This kid is fantastic. He is just a sophomore, and going off of the stats on Max Preps, they only have it for 11 games. He has a 65% completion rate, over 1,700 passing yards, 18 touchdowns, and just 4 interceptions. So this is a really tough opponent for Poston Butte. This kid can do it all. He can pass the ball, he can run the ball. So what is Poston Butte going to do to try to slow him down and give the offense an opportunity to get the ball and score some points? David, is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I'm just hoping for some fireworks in this one. I think it's going to be a great run game between these two, and who can stop them the most is going to end up winning. So we'll see what happens with our two Pinal County teams going to the semifinals. It'd be really cool to see if they matched up in the finals, but they're going to have to take care of their business tonight on Friday if they want to get to that final game and that championship game in Sun Devil Stadium. Should be fun this week. We'll see what happens.
All right, and that does it for our breakdown of this week's games. Be sure to check out Canal Central over the weekend for all of your football game coverage.